Pizza shops have figured out something decades ago that Uber Eats drivers still haven't, and probably it's costing us thousands of dollars per year. After tracking hundreds of deliveries as well as my own earnings, I've discovered what is the most profitable strategy. And it's not necessarily taking the biggest orders. It's thinking like a pizza shop. Pizza restaurants, they intentionally refuse those long distance deliveries because they know it affects profitability as well as food quality. Uber Eats, they encourage the exact opposite. In this video, I'm going to show you why short distance deliveries almost always make more money and how they reduce your expenses. And then the simple delivery rule that helps keep me profitable. A pizza shop's delivery area zone, it's based on drive time. The drivers need to be able to get that pizza out of the oven. The life expectancy of an optimal pizza is 15 to 20 minutes after it leaves the oven. So drivers need to be quick, get the order out to the customer, and then get right back so they can do another order. This encourages repeat business from customers because they're getting their food hot and a quick delivery. And I'll put a link to how pizza shops operate in the video description so you can learn more there. And then also a longtime viewer, Twinson, he works at a pizza shop and he's always commenting on my videos. So his insights are going to be helpful for you as well. So now let's compare pizza shops to how Uber Eats operates. The pizza restaurants, they know something that Uber Eats doesn't take into account. The car. The pizza delivery drivers, they're not driving a company car. What they're actually doing is driving their own car. And this is where the expenses matter. They need to fill up with gas. They're responsible for their own maintenance. If there's any repairs, the cost of tires, and of course, insurance, all these things add up. Pizza restaurants, they know this. There's no company car where everybody drives for free. Each driver is on their own. And pizza delivery drivers, they know that these kind of costs, they eat into their income. Where the opposite, Uber Eats loves sending us on deliveries all over the place, especially long distances. This dramatically increases the driver's costs, and this absolutely matters, especially over time. Another shocking thing, Uber Eats doesn't seem to care how long it takes for us to get the food. You would think that Uber Eats would want the customer to get hot food in a quick manner. That's just not the case. Now, pizza shop workers, they cannot afford to waste time in traffic because they have to get back to the restaurant and deliver more orders. And if they take trips that go further, then it's going to take them a long time to come back. And this is especially true during the dinner rush when there's a lot of traffic. And I personally have had experience a couple times consuming food from a long distance that actually was quite disgusting, but I'll share more on that in a little bit. Now, before we move on, please share in the comments right now, what is the longest distance delivery that you've taken on Uber Eats? And how did you feel about it afterwards? Your feedback, it's going to help all drivers gauge if long distance deliveries are a good idea or not. So next, let's talk about why short trips win. The first reason deals with tips. If you're holding out for one massive tip on a big order, no, it's better to have high volume, multiple trips, more opportunities, and even if they're lower amounts of tips, you're going to get more of them the more you take. And I definitely want to let you know, if I ever was able to do rideshare again, that secret that I discovered that I was doing wrong applies to food delivery. I would highly recommend only take short distance trips with passengers or food for that exact reason. If you're out on a long trip, you're all tied up and you're hoping on one big tip. Instead, do short distance deliveries. That makes all the difference. High turnover, many chances for a tip. And obviously, when you pick profitable orders, it's going to turn out you're going to get tips on all of them. Otherwise, you wouldn't accept it. Next, another benefit of doing short distance deliveries is you are lowering your expenses. Every mile that you put on your car, it's costing you money, especially if you're driving a long distance. You're the one that has to foot the bill. Like I already mentioned, your fuel, your insurance, your tires, all those miles add up on your car. And then don't forget, let's say you do that drop off. When you come back, those are unpaid miles. That's why a short distance delivery, it gets you back to the restaurant, the place where you know there's a lot of business, much sooner. That's what pizza shops do. And then also remember, especially during dinner rush, traffic can really slow you down. I know I deliver during the day, so around 3 o'clock when schools get out and families are getting home from work, that's when it really backs up. And it only gets worse during the dinner rush. So when you do short distance deliveries, the traffic isn't a factor as much. And you can have high turnover, and you're actually reducing your expenses by not driving as far. The next benefit of short distance deliveries is better quality food. A lot of people, they want their food hot. And so there's two benefits of this. The customer's getting their delivery hot, and it's much faster because you're not taking forever to get there. Also, as a very important side bonus, you're going to get better ratings and tips in the app because you're keeping that food at the best possible temperature and it's getting there quickly. I've experienced this a couple times as a customer. The first time I had ordered some noodle soup from a restaurant about 10 miles away. And anyway, it didn't go well. The driver was driving. I saw he should have turned and he didn't. He kept going miles out of the way. And that's when I realized, because I'm a driver, oh, he's probably on a stacked order picking up other food. By the time he got to my location, I was frustrated because, and it's not the driver's fault. Uber Eats encourages this kind of behavior by offering another order before you've dropped off the first one. It's called a stacked delivery. So again, Uber Eats is promoting this. Now the driver could have helped himself by using a hot bag to keep the noodles as hot as possible. Instead, I saw him take it out of the netting in the back of the trunk that holds it there. The food was okay, but when you consider the price I paid for the food, the fees to Uber Eats, and of course I tipped the driver because we're drivers, we know how it is. All of that added up to a lot of money, and the food was not hot. It was warm and it was okay, but it was not good. There was one other time that I actually got to eat the food. I was doing Grubhub. I had a stacked order and they were in different towns, and the first one took a long time. So actually, while I was on the way to the second drop off, I'm saying it was probably 30 or 40 minutes, the customer canceled the order. And so anyway, I worked it out with Grubhub. They said discard the food, which told me, wow, a free breakfast. And it was from Denny's. That plastic lid was sealed on there. It was disgusting. I actually was excited to think, wow, let's eat this meal. Again, the customer probably paid a lot for the food, delivery fees, and then to receive it, and it was kind of lukewarm and mushy. It was gross. And I don't want to make you sick right now with that thought. But guaranteed, that customer, they would not have enjoyed this meal that they paid a lot for because it wasn't hot. It was over a long distance because of that stacked order. So this is not a good idea. And Uber Eats should actually stop promoting these kind of stacked orders. And obviously they're not going to do it. So that's up to you as the driver. That's why this is another benefit of you adhering to only doing short distance deliveries. Do one at a time and then on to the next customer. The next benefit of doing short distance deliveries is you can do more of them. And this makes sense. It's a simple concept, but it actually is quite profound. So I know from my experience, if I get back to back, I can do 3 orders per hour. And maybe most drivers can do 2 or maybe 3. So my minimum to even not to turn on my car, I like using the AC. The minimum is $5 for me to move my vehicle, no matter what the distance is. So if I can do 3 per hour at a minimum, obviously low miles, that's 5 times 3, that's $15 per hour. And obviously those are minimums. And so when you make more, that's great. Now compare this to, let's say I wasn't doing this and I got a $10 order going out, say 6 or 7 miles. That actually might take me 30 to 40 minutes. And then I better hope, I better know that I'm going to drop off in a location where there's restaurants and I can get more orders on Uber Eats, or I'm going to have all those dead miles driving back to the busy area. So that $10 is actually going to turn into a huge waste of time because I'll have spent time driving each way. That could be an hour for $10. So I think you see the value here. Short distance deliveries, high rotation, many chances for tips. This is the way to go. And just think about this again. Every minute that you're driving back with dead miles, you're earning no money. Now, it is a simple concept and it's important. Here's what you don't want to do. You do not want to trust Uber Eats. Naturally, as drivers, we're working for them. Even as an independent contractor, they are not trustworthy. They're not going to care for us and make sure that we're making enough money. That's up to us. That's why a good rule of thumb, it might be $5 minimum for less than 4 miles. And I already alluded to all the maintenance and repairs. Stay well above $1 per mile. So when you do the minimum of $5 and less than 4 miles, you're going to be set up for success. And of course, keep in mind, every market is different. When you get experience, you're going to get to know what your minimum is and low miles, of course. And keep in mind, pizza shops like this one, they're in business to maximize profit. That's why they don't do long distance deliveries. So as an independent contractor, as a driver, this is what you need to be all about too, maximizing your profitability. Don't put your trust into Uber Eats to maximize your profits. They're not going to. So pizza shops like this one, they're out for maximizing profits, and Uber Eats is out for maximizing their profits. As an independent contractor, you're the only one that can maximize your own profits. So would you like to know how I pick profitable orders every single time? I've got good news for you. I've made 2 videos. One was filmed indoors and the other by the ocean. They both teach you how to deliver safely and profitably. So watch one of those next, and I'll see you there.